Hello, I'm Jay, owner of Volunteer Audio in Oliver Springs, Tennessee. This is video number 3 of a 4-part series on how to flash and why and what it does your stock radio. So if you're going to upgrade your audio system on your Harley Davidson, if you're thinking about upgrading speakers or amps or so on, you need to watch this video. We're going to go over what it means to flash your radio on your 14 to 24 models. We're also going to go over what those changes are, when you should and when you should not do it. And we've done this in this series. Now, video 1 is what we're doing when we flash, when you need to and when you don't need to do it. Video 2, I show you how to pull your BIN code out of your stock radio to see if you need to flash your radio or if the current flash is acceptable. In this video, we're going to go in depth on what each one of the flashes do, what we're actually doing to the radio when we change a flash, and we're going to give you a little bit more information so you'll be the expert on why we do it and which one was the correct one. So continue to watch. I'm going to go in depth, so watch the rest of the video. Video 4 is coming up soon. I'll show you how to download the software and flash your bike. If you want to be an expert on everything there is to know about flashing a 4.3 boom, a 6.5 GT, or a GTS radio, watch all the videos in this series. All right, so I've spent a lot of time testing every flash available, and I'm not going to bore you by going through every one of them right now, but I want to tell you what we tested for, and I'm going to tell you how to find out the information on each one. So when we're flashing a radio, we're affecting the output of the radio, how strong the signal is that leaves, so how many volts of current is leaving the speaker wire leads. We're also affecting the EQ, or what frequencies are going to be displayed, or what frequencies are going to be transmitted out to your amp or your speakers. We're going to also be affecting if that EQ changes and if the rear speakers work or not. So those are the 4 variables we have control over with flash, and we don't have a lot of control. We select different ones and these things change. So I've done the test on every single flash that's available through the Techno Research tool and every manufacturer that's put a name on one with a bike. So I've got an RTA here. This is a real-time analyzer. It is connected to the left front speaker of this Ultra Limited. We've got our GTS radio playing a pink noise track. To explain what pink noise is, it is all of our frequencies of sound played at the same time at the same volume. That allows us to actually see on a graph what it is putting out. So we're seeing our vocal range, we're seeing our treble range, and we see our bass range. And on our computer, you'll see I have a 2-speaker flash in this bike right now to demonstrate the most common flash that is already pre-installed on a bike. So if you have a 2-speaker system, factory electric glide, street glide, road glide, and it's just 2 front speakers, this is what your radio is currently doing. And I want to show you that because it's most common. If we'll notice here, about 80 decibel, 63 to 100 decibel, and 80 being the peak, they actually have a very big bass boost built in when the engine is not running. So we have this huge amount of bass to make it sound more full in the dealership or sitting in the garage. But when we start our bike, this is going to change. Now, to give you how many decibel this is, each one of these lines is 3 decibels. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So up to, there's a 21 decibel increase from where our mid-range is all the way up to where our 80 hertz bass boost is. That is a tremendous amount of boost. That's enough boost to blow most 5 1/4s or 6 1/2s when you try to play them loud. It's also going to make them get very distorted because they're trying to play bass frequencies that a subwoofer would normally do, an 8-inch sub or even the upper end of a 10-inch sub. And they're not going to be able to do that at max volume, which is what we need on a Harley. We need it to play pretty much as loud as it can for a long time and not blow up. So you go on these long rides in your car, you're never, even on a long trip in a car, you have such a low floor noise that you're not having to raise the speakers to their max. On a motorcycle, you're trying to overcome the wind and the engine and all these things at speed. So you're going all the way up in volume and you're leaving it there for very long extended amounts of time. Now, so Harley, to combat that, they made the EQ change when the bike's running. So let me start the bike, kind of show you this. All right, so I had to turn the bike off so you can hear me, but as you saw, while the bike was running, the EQ completely changed. And what happened was our mid increased, our treble increased, our bass came down a little bit, and it is really still yet messed up. We need a EQ that's the same sitting still as it is while riding. We need that so we can properly set our amplifiers, so we can properly set a DSP if you use one, or the EQ in the radio to sound right, because you're sitting here with it still, you're getting your music where you want it, you're getting it to sound like you want, you're setting your amp. You definitely can't set an amp driving down the road. But then you fire up the bike and all of your settings are null and void. They're no good because they've done their changes in the background. So when we flash this bike, we're gonna be checking each flash and we're gonna see which ones fix this problem. We know some of them are actually gonna flatten the EQ, and I'll show you those. Some of them are gonna make that EQ not change while it's running. I'll go over that with you as well. And there's just so much poor information out there on which one to use. So this is the 2-speaker no amp. There's a 4-speaker no amp with the same issue, and there's a flash called the Rockford flash that a lot of people say, oh, you need to do the Rockford flash because that's one the dealer can do because it's non-amped. That flash is going to maintain your fader, but it's going to have all of these EQ problems. Whereas when we do an amplified flash that fixes these problems, we lose our fader ability. So let me talk about fader for just a second before we move on. The reason we lose fade ability when we do the correct flash, and if you'll check your bike, if you see your fader but it doesn't do anything when you use it, you have an amplified flash installed on your bike right now. And you may even have the correct one for your system. But fader was done in the factory amplifier. So if you had a Boom 1 amp or a Boom 2 amp and you faded in the radio through a digital signal, the actual amp was gained up and down. It wasn't a change at the radio. So after you do the amplified flash that fixes the problems, and you're using an aftermarket amp that can't talk to the radio digitally, your fader is no longer there. So you do lose fade. But to keep fade, a lot of people decide, oh, I'm going to do the Rockford flash. And when they first do it, they think they did good because they've got more bass when they first started up because it still has this bass boost. They have fader again, but when they head down the road, it gets very distorted. It doesn't sound clear. It doesn't go as loud as it used to. And then they end up blowing their speakers. So we want to try to help you not go through that line of problems. So I want to do a flash. The next flash I'm going to do is I'm going to go and flash the bike with the voluntary audio flash. I'll be right back. I'll tell you more about that and show you these same things in it. All right, so we got our bike flashed. We just reflashed it with the voluntary audio recommended flash. Now, if you were to pull that EQ.bin number, you'd see 134 off in the back service menu of the radio, which is the same as the 6-speaker 2-amp flash with uppers, lowers, and saddlebag lids. None of that matters. It doesn't matter if we had 6 speakers or 2 amps. What matters is when we do that flash, it's going to lower the output of the radio to a good usable input signal. That usable input signal on that flash is about 5.5 volts, and most of our amps are going to handle 6 volts of input current without problem. So it's a really strong, clean input signal. It's also going to fix this EQ, and I'm fixing to show you that. We'll bring it back up. We'll show you what it looks like running, not running. And running doesn't change the EQ, which is even better. And at the same time, it automatically turns on the rear speakers. You don't have to go in and manually turn those on. They're already on. So I've spent so much time, and believe it or not, this is the 3rd time I've tried to shoot this video series. I keep losing footage, so I know this is an important series that you need to see or have access to, or I wouldn't have so much trouble trying to get it put together. But in my testing and what we've done, we found out that there were really 3 to 4 variations. Now, one of the variations is the 2-speaker I just showed you, and that is the non-amped. And in that case, you only have 2 front speakers. You have all these EQ problems we talked about. The voltage is pretty strong. It's about 6.8 volts, which is a little too strong. And then we have the 4-speaker flash. That 4-speaker no amp flash is also called the Rockford flash. I just touched on it a second ago. But one thing I saw in there that really piqued my interest, or maybe even put a couple pieces of a puzzle together, was we get a lot of customers who say, it's not our customers, it's people that have heard or other people have told them that if you do rear speakers they're a waste, you won't hear them. And I wondered why so many people have this kind of thought, because when we do a system with rear speakers, they're definitely audible. They're one of the best sounding speakers on the bike. They give us the most bass response. Of course, you don't get as much treble from them. You get that from your front speakers, but overall, they're very enveloping and they sound really good. When I tested the 4-speaker flash, also known as the Rockford flash, I actually got 8.5 volts of current to the front speakers, but we only got 7.3 to the rear. That means we're a lot lower in output on our rear speakers versus our front, if you do the wrong flash. So some of these people saying you can't hear rear speakers, I think used the Rockford flash, which made their system overall not sound as good, but it also made it where the rear speakers were nowhere near as much output. And even if you faded a lot to the back, and it took a lot, you could almost even it out when you almost all the way faded to the rear, but you cut all your signal way back to do it. So let's show our volunteer audio flash and the results. All right, so I want you to see this because I think it's pretty awesome. After we did our flash with the volunteer audio flash, which we didn't create the flash, we're just helping you find the correct flash easier. You're going to see that our EQ is relatively flat all the way across. And as we go loud, everything in this goes up instead of just the bass like the other ones. And I want you to see this. I'm going to start it. We'll see what the difference is while running. I think what you see is running or not running, we have the same output. We have the same outcome here, the same EQ. Rear speakers are active, bass boost is gone, EQ's relatively flat, and while the bike's running, it doesn't mess it up. The next thing we want to check is voltage. So let me change our track here to our test track for our radio, and you're going to find out that we have, if we're running a negative 5 dB track, we're at 4 3/4 volt. If we go to our loudest track, we have 5.5 volts. We found that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, eight of the factory flashes give us this outcome. It's not one flash. I'm not going to tell you have to use the volunteer audio flash. All of these BIN codes for all the different flashes that do this outcome, I'm going to share. It's on our website. It's free to look at. And I want you to pull your BIN code out of your radio and see if it's one of those. If it is, you have the right flash. If it's not one of those, you need to reflash your radio with the correct one if you're using an aftermarket amp. Now, all of the two amp flashes. So any of the flashes that were boom 1 with 2 amps gave us this outcome. We don't use a boom 2 flash at all. And if we did a single amp factory flash, we got a different outcome on this as well. The 1 amp flashes did not give us the same EQ results. And when we got into the non-amped ones, it was just all over the place. So I'll get a few of these images brought up to give you some examples of what I'm talking about. All right, so I want to share some information here about these particular flashes. And I can bring up several of them. Here's the 4-speaker 1 amp flash. That's the 131 off. And I brought this one up as an example. If you'll notice, that looks just like the one we just did on the volunteer audio flash. It's not hardly any different at all. And it doesn't change when the bike is running. But I made a note here as I went through. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different flashes that give you the same outcome. They're also known, though, as there's several manufacturers have gave them some names. So there's the volunteer audio flash, the sounds flash. Diamond Audio has 3 flashes available. All 3 give you the exact same outcome. No idea why they have 3. Maybe they need to bring that down to 1, but when you test it, they're all the same. The Kicker 2-speaker front speaker kit flash. So if you have any of those manufacturer names I just mentioned, so that was Volunteer Audio, Sounds, Diamond Audio's DAT 1, 2, or 3, Kicker 2-speaker front speaker kit, they're all going to give you the best, cleanest output, the flattest EQ, and the EQ is not going to change while running while turning on the rear. On top of that, they're also known as 14 off, 16 off, 128 off, 130 off, 131 off, 132 off, 133 off, 134 off, and 135 off. That is the BIN number if you were to pull it out of your radio. This is a lot to keep up with. We'll have this on the website so you can go there. These are known as the 8-speaker 2 amp flash, and all the 6-speaker 2 amp variations, and even some of the 4-speaker 1 amp variations are the same in output. And what it is Harley really just did this. They said, are we going to have front speakers only or front and rear? And then they decided, are we going to have an amp or are we not going to have an amp? And when the amp is turned on, the radio's output is lowered, cleaned up, and the EQ is set flat. The reason for that, inside that factory amp is where they put the bass boost. That's where the EQing was. That's where their fader was. All of these things were done digitally in the amp. So all we're doing is creating a good, clean, flatter signal by doing the flash. It's never perfect. It's really close, but you still have 3 decibel of adjustment inside the radio's bass and treble to try to compensate for that. Now, if you want a lot more EQ adjustment and a better output, I recommend buying one of the SoundStream Reserve radios. They're definitely a great radio. The output signal is superior to a factory radio. A lot of people will tell you to put a DSP in place. If you put a DSP in place, you still have to flash the radio to correct these problems. Then somebody has to build you that EQ, and most of the time, the end user doesn't have access to it. And if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to make it far worse with the DSP than better. Can you make it better? Yes. There are lots of great sounding DSP systems out there, so I'm not telling you that DSPs are terrible or you shouldn't do it. I'm telling you that I think the radio is a much better solution and much easier for most people to set up and use. And if you're using good speakers, a great amp, and you have your radio flashed right, you do not have to have a DSP to have great sound. So don't let people fool you and tell you have to have one in every scenario. There are scenarios where you need one. We always try to guide you in the right direction. And if you call us at 1-844-30-AUDIO and talk to us about your system, we'll tell you what's needed or not needed. We don't just try to sell you additional parts. So we have a bunch of different factory flashes. The full list will be at volunteeraudio.com in the install help section. I'll show you on each one of them which ones are the same, which ones are not, which ones are going to turn on your rear speakers, which ones change the EQ while running. All these factors will be there listed with them so you can make the right decision on which one you use. We also are very proud that Volunteer Audio is the only retailer that actually has their own flash. Several manufacturers have one, but we have a great relationship with Techno Research. We do a lot of business with them, and they have seen the value that we bring and allowed us to have our own flash so that we can send you easier to the right flash. So remember, when you're dealing with Volunteer Audio, we actually care about the end result. We do a lot of research on everything we do, and if you'll select that, that's going to be the flash we just showed you here and demonstrated why you needed it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you watch our next video. The next one, I'm going to go into detail on how to download the Techno Research software, where you connect up that tool to your bike, and how you go through the entire flash process. I'll also show you how to do the activation of your Apple CarPlay so you don't have to have a headset connected for that to work. So definitely watch the next video. It's going to round out our 4-video series. And then on top of that, we're going to have this great amount of information at volunteeraudio.com for you to reference after you watch these videos, have you a place to go so you don't have to spend the hours and hours it took for me to compile all of this data. So I hope this has been informative. I hope it's helped you. I hope that now you're an expert about flashing a radio. Definitely subscribe to Volunteer Audio on YouTube, follow us on Facebook, and you'll be the first to know about new products, great information like this, how to install and even how to use those new products as they come out. Like this video, it's free to you, it helps us, and it helps other people find the videos as they come out, and we appreciate you liking it and sharing it. So comment below if you have any questions. I'll be happy to comment back. Let me know if there's any videos or specific questions you'd like for us to cover in the future. Check out all of our Volunteer Audio plug-and-play amp and speaker upgrades for your Harley at volunteeraudio.com. And if you need help picking that perfect system, we'll talk about your bike, your build, your budget, and our awesome sales team will help you if you call 1-844-30-AUDIO to get the right system the first time. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, God bless.